Be so drunk. Oh. Welcome to Talking Movies. We'll be joined by Dave, maybe sometime. It's late. There's beers on the table, and we're talking movies. First point of interest. Something I just wrote down on my phone. I'm gonna just throw it out there and get some see if I can get some explanation for some of you guys. Worst show on TV.
Worst show
on TV. Oh. I'm gonna say The New Girl. What in the hell is wrong with that show? I believe that.
My girlfriend just put you in her hit list, by the way.
There's gotta be worse shows than that one though.
Okay,
Gossip Girl.
You could go to CBS and basically everything on there is the worst show on TV.
Well, just because I haven't seen those.
I don't have
I'm just saying. I watched New Girl.
Hawaii 5.0.
I watch New Girl every Tuesday before the Mindy Project because I'm eating supper, and it's just like
I know a lot of people that love The New Girl, and I think it's because Zooey Deschanel is like peaking right now with her crowd. Maybe. I don't know. I don't care for the show personally.
There's certainly a lot of shows I don't watch, so I can't say that. I'm saying that's
The Good Wife. Worst show on television.
CBS.
Have you seen that though?
I'm sure that's good. No, I have. But
I have this feeling with inside me that any did I mention we're drinking tonight?
Man, you started this out with a bang.
That any sitcom, any comedy sitcom, you should be able to just watch one episode no matter where it is in the series, like it and laugh.
Don't like that stuff.
But I just don't you think any sitcom is that way though?
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And I just don't get that feeling.
My pick is my big fat gypsy wedding. My big fat gypsy wedding, which is a staple in our household Sunday nights because my girlfriend loves it to death. It's basically gypsies who get married, and I see them as white trash because they are, but it's basically their wedding stories, and they're gypsies, and boy, it's terrible. It's terrible.
yeah.
Well,
we all know your hatred for gypsies.
Yeah, I know. I hated Snatch because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Hawaii 5.0.
All right.
The remake.
Luke.
Yeah, I mean, those are very good. I really don't watch TV because I don't really have a TV right now. I know that sounds very pretentious, but
You don't have TV, or you don't have a TV?
I don't have a antenna cable. I have a TV to watch. Digital.
Still watch the movies.
Yeah, I just watch movies and DVDs of shows and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
However, I would say pretty much anything. I hate reality TV with a passion. Majority of everything of it. Everything from the Kardashians to Real Housewives to Honey Boo Boo. Toddlers and Tiaras is a crime against humanity. I don't know. I really hate reality TV.
Unless your toddler gets on it.
Yeah.
And
they'll make me a star.
They'll change your tune when your kids get on it.
But yeah, I just really hate those kind of shows. So that's my pick for the shows. I would say the Honey Boo Boo because it's like watching those people you see at Walmart after they got done shopping. So
that should be the next reality TV show. People at Walmart. I mean, it's already a website. It should obviously be a reality TV show.
We're brought to you by peoplewalmart.com tonight, by the way.
On
On a more serious note, people in the movie world lost a pretty big name this week in Roger Ebert. I know us. You could maybe consider us movie critics, even if we're very small time. We all kind of felt that too, and I think we could all wish to be as important or as famous or as least well respected as he was for what he did. So, here's to Roger Ebert.
Cheers to you, Roger.
cheers.
Oops.
Man, it meant a lot to me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, as far back as I can remember, I remember watching Siskel and Ebert, reading his reviews, and when I first heard the news, it kind of I got taken aback, and it's just like, man, I just flat out said, "Are you kidding me? Is this real?" Like, I mean, It's a bummer.
Yeah, I already went to the hospital the day before, and then I woke up the next morning, and it was just the headline. Like, wow, okay.
Because his Twitter account didn't say it was. I mean, he would just post random, interviews and stuff, but
Yeah.
nothing really ever alluded.
Ben and I were talking before we came on, and I was telling him how, like, there's almost no one besides my father who had such an influence on me with movies. I mean, he was the king. He was the best. And I shed a couple tears when I heard that he had passed. He's the best.
Yeah.
He was the best. He'll always be the best.
I think he was like super influential. I remember watching his show with Gene Siskel, who I was really devastated when he passed away as well. Just growing up on a small farm, and not really having any like outside view of like what movies are, and just being a movie fan, and then hearing like them say movies can be art, and then you talk about Kubrick, and they talked about pacing in one, like in a foreign film. They're saying they loved how it took time to tell a story, just linger on a shot, and that really opened my eyes to look at a movie differently, and really kind of jump-started a lot of going into world cinema and art cinema, and also one thing I'll give Ebert, he also loved quote-unquote trash cinema. He wrote Beyond Valley of the Dolls. He loved Evil Dead movies, and he was a lover of movies. He was always very empathetic. He could be very stern too.
But nobody,
I learned a lot.
Nobody wrote like he wrote.
Yeah,
No.
he had his own voice.
Very distinct
Even when he
voice.
lost his voice, he had his own voice still.
Very true. And he seems like a likable person, just a lover of movies that the average Joe could, very, very intelligent man.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Thoroughly missed already.
Yeah.
Definitely. I guess the only other critic left for me that I really respect is what's his name? Is it David Edelstein?
David Edelstein is
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Bob Mondello is also another.
He's on
Schwartzberg.
CBS Sunday morning, I think maybe once or twice a month, and
Mhm.
he always has a good twist on movies.
Yeah, he really reads into them. I don't always agree with his reviews, but he's very well articulate, and I always respect his point of views and stuff.
Well, he just gives a nice,
which is I like.
He gives a nice, honest opinion, which I always appreciate.
Yeah.
Like he said I haven't seen it, but he said about Zero Dark 30 that it's a movie that nobody should see, but everybody should want to watch it, or something to that effect. But yeah. Moving on, one more question before we get to the main topic, and we can do last scene as well. What is the worst movie you have ever finished? Now I want to say Big Fish, but I didn't finish it, so I can't say that. But worst movie you've ever finished. And I had a movie in mind when I wrote this down, but I didn't write the name of the movie.
Oh, I cannot think of the movie either. And I remember it vividly. I watched it like
Moonstruck.
probably about 10 years ago. And one of my friends at like horror movies rented it, and it was like trying to be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but really, really bad. It was early 2000s, and it was shot digital and just didn't look good, and really, it was just really cheesy. Like, not even funny cheesy.
What's it called?
I can't remember the name.
Okay.
Which I didn't know why I was saying that.
This is a tough one.
I don't know why I was saying
Maybe
that.
I wrote this down when I was watching the fourth.
I don't know what the
last
worst movie I've seen is, but I know what the worst movie I've seen in the past like 5 years was. Thanksgiving 3.
3.
Yeah.
What happened to 2?
That's actually part of the plot of Thanksgiving 3. Thanksgiving, the original, is a great, terrible movie about a killer turkey during Thanksgiving, which was funny. It knew it was bad. It was like a trauma movie. Knew it was bad. Thanksgiving 3 is so god awful. Like, I have a friend. His name was Craig. We used to have every Monday night. We used to rent bad movies on purpose, and watch them, make fun of them, and then throw quotes at the movie.
Your own Mystery Science Theater.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we loved it. We watched 3 or 4 movies in a row and make fun of them all. Horror movies, We watched Thanksgiving 3, and he literally got up and walked out without saying goodbye. He just walked out. It was so god awful. It
Yeah.
was terrible. So, that's the worst movie I've seen recently, and of all time, it's probably up there.
I guess for me, whenever I start a movie, I have to finish it, like no matter what. So I'm gonna go with the last movie that I seriously fast forwarded till the end because it's just like I don't care about this movie anymore, but I'm just gonna fast forward it and then be done with it. And that was Seth Rogen, The Green Hornet.
Oh.
We started that.
Really?
We watched about 35 dreadful minutes. That movie is so bad. And just fast forwarding it did not look like it got any better. And, that movie really kind of bummed me out.
Didn't Michelle Gondry direct
Yeah,
that?
Michelle
Yeah.
Gondry, like, man.
Christoph Waltz is in it, and
Yeah, and Christoph Waltz is really bad in it. Everything about that movie, to me, was terrible. And so I don't usually skip to the end of movies, and that was the last one, so I'm just going to say that for now. Like, the last couple of years, probably The Green Hornet.
Thankfully, we're drunk and we've talked this through good, because I remember the reason I wrote this down. And we'll segue into the last movie we've seen since I'm bringing this up, as I watched The Bachelorette last week.
Uh-oh.
What a terrible movie.
I think you texted me the other day, you're like, "You see The Bachelor, it's terrible." I was like, no, I haven't.
Don't watch it. I remember seeing.
I think you should watch it if you want.
I remember seeing previously, and that looked really funny, and I thought Kirsten Dunst was the best person in the movie, and I don't like her at all.
yeah.
But it's like they wanted to just let's take all these elements from Hangover, all the elements from Bridesmaids, and see how not funny we can make it. It was just way too dramatic, and I mean, there was a couple times that I laughed out loud, but it was mainly at the guy, Adam Scott.
Oh,
Just because I know him, and he had some funny interactions with Lizzie Chaplin, and it just brought me back to Party Down a little bit. But terrible movie.
See, I kind of enjoyed it.
And I watched the
You
whole
saw it too?
Yeah. The fact that it was a comedy and it wasn't over 2 hours, that really impressed me because every comedy these days is over 2 hours. So, including Bridesmaids, this is kind of like a Bridesmaids ripoff, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
It got a little too dark for its own good.
Yeah,
which every movie does anymore. It gets a little too dark.
It's
for
like
its
it
own
kind of
good.
wanted to be that Very Bad Things movie in some weird way. And that movie was funny. I really enjoyed that movie.
I hear it's really good.
But it's like it's already been done.
And I suppose all the characters are, besides the actress getting married, there's not really any likable characters in the movie. So.
Yeah, right away they were doing rails of cocaine, and I'm just like, what's going on?
Wow.
Just no tact. It was just like, okay.
That's New York City for you.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the last movie I've seen, so why don't we go around the room. Last movie you've seen, Luke?
The last one I watched was just last night. The Hobbit, Peter Jackson's first in his long series of a short book. I like Peter Jackson. I love King Kong. Lord of the Rings, with all its kind of schizophrenic flaws, I do like it. So I was kind of expecting a little bit of Lord of the Rings magic, and there just wasn't any. Some of the set details and some of the visuals are really awesome. When the mountain giants fight, that was kind of cool. Like the Dwarven Kingdom, and it was kind of cool. But it was nice to see Rivendell again. Tolkien fans, but yeah, just I don't know. Just it was way too bright. I don't know. Just the way it looked filmed was just
It looked way too clean.
Yeah, it just looked too polished
It
and
was really
storybook.
I haven't seen it, but just the previews
Yeah.
I've seen, it's...
And it's probably for 3D, and they shot it in high speed rate. It was 43 frames per second per the average 24. But like the makeup of it, like everyone looked so like goofy in a way, and there's times I felt like I was watching like a Jim Henson movie. and then there was like this guy who looked like Justin Theroux.
From Zoolander.
Yeah, and I kept thinking that was him the whole time because it looked like him in Your Highness. And
it's like the main dwarf.
Yeah, he looks like Justin Theroux, and I mean, it's not his fault that he looks like Justin Theroux. And Justin Theroux's an awesome guy, but just The Hobbit. I was really disappointed, more than I thought I was. Maybe I'm too old for it, but
it's too little, too late.
Yeah, too late. Effects weren't as great. Gollum did look good though.
Not any more mind-blowing than it already did.
No.
Back in the day.
But some of the action scenes were alright.
Isn't Gollum just Jar Jar Binks at this point, though? I mean, come on.
He's
got one line.
That is a whole different.
No, Gollum's not racially insensitive. You know.
Zing.
Take that, George Lucas.
Point taken.
Funny.
Anywho's, my grade is the same as Ben's on this one, C-. I'll end up, and as the nerd and the dumb masses that we are, I'll watch the other ones too.
So
But
I will too. Yeah.
but I'll wait till video.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So
My son already watched it in the theater. I'm not putting myself through it.
the best part was Kate Blanchett, which even wasn't that great because
I endured the third one in the theater. Isn't that enough?
yeah.
I mean, that was.
No, actually, no, that
Or
was.
the third Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that was.
Well, I guess we already talked about The Bachelorette, which I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I laughed.
People just know what they're getting into.
I liked the darker stuff. Even if it does get too dark for its own good. But a movie that did not get too dark for its own good, the animated feature Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, that's okay.
I saw that recently. I loved it. Another reason too, I for some reason thought Seth Rogen was the voice of Ralph. For some reason, I totally thought that was it. And then when the moment the movie started, and it was John C. Reilly. I just got this huge smile on my face and just a huge sigh of relief. Like, oh, thank God.
He's got a great.
I'm really dissing on Seth Rogen. I mean, I don't hate the guy, but I was just really happy that it was John C. Reilly. But
It was perfect for that role.
It was. I really liked that movie. I had a great
loved
time.
Wreck-It Ralph. I thought it was fantastic.
It'd been a while since I had seen an animated feature film, and yeah, it blew me away. I had a great time.
A lot of fun.
I really
The
had
whole
a great time.
the whole Diet Pepsi with Mentos thing, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Mentos fall in the cave, and of course it comes out at the end. But
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. I had a lot of fun watching it.
John C. Reilly can do a lot of animated stuff. I think he can do all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for
Sarah Silverman.
I remember that Sarah Silverman would be a star of a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Considering the things that have already come out of her mouth, yes.
Yeah, right.
I love her.
Yeah.
I love her more than I should, but yes.
But no, it's a really good movie.
Blake?
Is it my turn? I've seen a few movies since the last time I was on, but the one that's really stuck out with me is Harmony Korine's Spring Breakers. Best American film I've seen all year long.
Oh, no,
Probably the best movie I've seen this year.
You directed that?
Yeah. This is my first Harmony Korine film. I've not seen Gummo. I've not seen Trash Humpers. I've seen nothing. Boy, what?
You never seen Julian Donkey Boy?
No.
Right there, guys. Julian Donkey Boy.
I would agree. Julian Donkey Boy is
This
an experience.
movie is amazing. I mean, there's nothing like Spring Breakers right now. There's nothing that.
Is anybody in that?
And guess what, Sioux Falls? It's out of the theaters already. Sorry.
It features a bunch of Disney
had your
stars.
chance.
Vanessa Hudgens and Selena Gomez are the main stars. They're both from Disney shows.
James Franco and Dreads.
And they've caught a lot of heat for what
They
being
did.
in that movie.
They did, but man, I mean, this movie is alive. I mean, the movie is basically a 90-minute montage. There's no story. There's a story to it, but there's no slowing down. There's no scenes where they advance the plot. It's just chaos.
Is there another movie called Spring Breakers?
No, there's one movie called Spring Breakers.
There's a movie called Spring Breakdown.
Is that the one with Parker Posey and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of Skrillex, but Harmony Korine uses one of his songs in the very opening of the movie, and it's amazing. I mean, the opening scene, the opening scene,
We'll see.
the opening scene involves basically people getting wasted on a beach, and there must be 30 to 40 naked women, and Harmony Korine gets up there, full blast nudity, women having oil fixations on lollipops, and I mean it's insane.
Well, no, I heard a review of it, and they said the camera looks at the women as its tongue is out.
That is a great description.
And I was like, wow, that's.
I mean, this is like the very first scene is slow motion, breasts, alcohol flowing everywhere. I mean, he takes no prisoners.
So any 14-year-old wants to watch.
Oh
this
yeah.
movie.
Well, which is funny because the movie is laughing at them the entire time.
Mm.
I mean, James Franco should get an Oscar nomination for. I mean, he is amazing in this movie. You'll never see a movie like Spring Breakers ever. I mean, this is something else.
Now that I know it's.
So like a grade,
okay.
I would give it an A. I mean, this is an amazing.
Now I'm more intrigued. At first I was like, oh, it just sounds exploitative.
Maybe the
It is.
60s still get it.
But now I know who it is behind it.
I mean, do you know the song "Every Time" by Britney Spears?
Do I know it?
Do you know it though? Like there's a
He was
montage.
dancing to it last
There's a
night.
montage where Vanessa Hudgens and this other girl in bikinis with James Franco are robbing people and smashing their faces in cakes and beating them up to a Britney Spears song, and he's playing it on piano. I mean, this movie is all over the place.
Okay.
It has to be seen to be believed.
And I missed it. Sioux Falls. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Century. I should have
It's-
supported.
It's amazing. I mean, I can't recommend it enough. I love it so
I
much.
know it was out of the theater already.
Yeah, which is too bad for you guys.
That's really
But that's the best movie I've seen all year, hands down.
Okay. Well, when I bring my nephews to a movie,
How old are your nephews?
well, they like the Disney movies. They,
Boy, this is gonna wreck their image of these girls here.
Or
We're not gonna go there.
Or they'll
This is
have lots of questions.
This is a plus 18 show.
it will be.
Maybe that's why I was out of the theaters. I don't know. Anyway, I think I actually watched this a while ago, but I forgot to talk about it last time. And since I already ripped apart The Bachelorette, D plus by the way. I'll give it a passing grade because I did laugh out loud a couple times. On Bachelorette.
Jeez.
I watched is it Euro Dreams of Sushi
Whoa, okay, go ahead.
documentary.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
I think you texted me you watched it.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought it was weird because as the movie progresses, like you start to admire this guy, but you think that and the more you find out about him, it's just like he started working when he was 9 years old, and it's the only thing he's ever known. But then he wasn't there for his kids, so you kind of pull back a little bit. But you still like just admire his dedication and what he's become, and it's and then and the movie's kind of it's a documentary, but it's kind of the same thing over and over again. But then it really gets cooking towards the end when they do the montage.
No pun intended.
Yeah, cook. No. Well, they don't cook.
They don't cook sushi.
But they do
anything from that?
Alcohol influence joke, okay?
towards the end of the movie, they do like a 20-piece or 20-course sushi serving for like 5 people, and it's just him and 2 other guys, and they're just banging it out. And the camera work, I've never seen camera work like this in a documentary before. I mean, they were just right up in there on the sushi, and I'm just like hungry and thirsty.
I don't like sushi, but I was craving sushi the entire time watching that movie.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because he's kind of like in one ways this is a bad assumption, but he seems like the soup Nazi because like if he puts the sushi in front of you, you're supposed to eat it within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean that's or you leave and you have to get a reservation months in advance at his place. And,
300,000 yen, I believe.
yeah,
You know what I thought?
it's one of the most expensive restaurants in the world.
And it's in a subway.
And it's
right?
in a subway. And
There's two restaurants, right?
well, his son runs the other one.
But where's that one at? I forget.
I don't know.
What I found fascinating was when he goes back to his.
Yes, when he goes back to where he grew up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they had that reunion, and they talk about how he would like pick on the girls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. That really stuck with me. That
Yeah,
whole sequence.
that was really cool too. Yeah, because I was kind of a little bit waning interest, and then that happened. And it's really cool.
I love the use of the classical music in that movie, where it was just like these nice slow motion shots of them preparing sushi with this nice orchestral music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very I mean it's well regarded, but it's not well watched, I think, and it's a very, very good documentary.
And you don't have to like sushi to watch it. I like kind of how they focused on his oldest son, because the other restaurant that they had was run by the younger son. But in Japan, apparently, it's custom that the oldest son takes over the father's position.
And he's still waiting.
Yeah, and they showed the oldest son. He's worked for his father for 31 years, and they show him like pre-service, just like charring pieces of kelp. Just getting
out in the hallway.
Yeah, that's all he does is just char pieces of kelp, and he's been doing that for 30 years.
And he accepts it.
Yeah,
and
he's
like, I want him to retire, but I respect what he's done too. You know,
and the guy's like 85 years old.
It's a fascinating documentary. Yeah.
So,
did you see it too?
I saw a little bit. Yeah.
So
I need to finish.
If you like documentaries at all, it's really
on
an
Netflix
interesting
too,
story.
Sure,
Yeah.
Oh, perfect time.
Dave is here and very late.
And
Allie. She must have saw the word Jameson in the text.
Yeah.
Come on in.
We have some guests here, guys. We have David and we have Allie here. Oh, sorry. Come on, Dave. Sorry about the dogs.
Oh boy.
Hey guys.
What up, player?
And you actually probably came at the perfect time, so.
Last movie you've seen. Dave, go ahead. Dave's
Evil
here.
Dead. I saw the new Evil Dead.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
how was
Alright,
it?
we're all interested to hear what you thought. Don't ruin it.
Because that's the newest movie.
No, I won't spoil anything. I'll just say like top-notch visual effects, the visual and the audio is we're very like I saw it in the theater, and I'm glad I did just for those reasons. But just as like a film in general, great build-ups to everything, and super intense. I had to turn away from the movie 3 different times.
Oh,
nice. I usually will, not flinch to those things, but yeah, there were 3 parts that I can recollect that were just long and gruesome, and I could not bear it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate effects enough that usually I just watch that stuff, but it was so good that.
No, that's good. I like that this new
too
Evil Dead
real.
is holding up to its, holding up to its.
Very
Oh, yeah.
positive.
And if you go to it, I wasn't able to do it because I had a ride, but it is recommended by some of my friends. Stay after the credits because there will be something there for you that will be some reverence to Evil Dead. And,
Bruce Campbell takes a deuce. In 3D.
Anyway, we had to bribe Dave to come here tonight. Oh, now you're off camera, Dave. Put your purse down.
Yeah,
and lean
keep
in.
pursing.
You can't see the first.
It's a European man shawl.
Because of our main Dave's here because of our main topic, and sorry about the dogs and sorry about my slurring. We're here tonight to pit Nicolas Cage
After 30 minutes.
against Give Me Back My Son, Mel Gibson.
That's the
I
first
really
thing
wanted
I
to
thought
use-
of, by the way. When I thought about
I
it.
really wanted to find that audio clip, but I couldn't get it on my phone. Give me back my son. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. He's serious.
Is that in conspiracy theory?
Ransom.
Oh, yeah,
Rance? Come on, man, Rance.
So let's get to it.
First question: has Nicolas Cage ever played a preacher? Because Mel Gibson was one in Science. Thought that get the ball rolling. Telling secrets over there.
Wait, is this a trivia question? Like,
No,
you know
I don't
the
know.
answer?
I feel like I've seen him with a collar on. No.
Wait, Nicolas Cage was in Face Off, who pretended to be a preacher,
Face?
but he was a terrorist. He's in the opening scene where he does
That will work.
the.
That will work.
So thank you.
I was gonna say he's a cop in Bad Lieutenant, but
That's not a preacher.
well, I was just thinking about uniforms.
Oh, okay.
Has Mel Gibson?
And he says, I can eat.
I can eat peach for hours. No, but that's not the scene.
They're just trying to calibrate his voice. Okay, that's like one of the only things that they heard him say.
Peach. I can eat a peach.
Has Mel Gibson ever been undead in a movie? Because Nicolas Cage was.
What was he undead in? The Vampire's Kiss? Or?
Drive Angry.
I love that.
He's
Spoiler alert.
He's undead.
I brought that. Me and my roommates tried to watch his whole discography. Did not get through it because it is very extensive.
It is.
Drive Angry.
Wait,
I brought
discography or
home.
filmography?
Oh, I said discography, didn't I? Thank you, Blake. Yeah, I tried to watch Drive Angry, but didn't make it through it and turned it off.
He didn't know he was undead though.
Drive Angry
They didn't come up.
is a great successor to Grindhouse. FYI.
That's what I hear.
Same vein.
Speaking of Drive Angry, how about those Mad Max films, huh?
I saw the first one not too long ago. It was great. Actually, it was really great.
Yeah. Mad Max, The Road Warrior, that Tina Turner movie.
Man, The Road Warrior, I can't talk highly enough of The Road Warrior. It's
Well-
my ultimate man movie is The Road
If you
Warrior.
want to get out of here, you talk to Mike.
Well, here's my thing. I mean, who has more Oscars? Mel or Nick? Mel has
Yet.
2. Nick
Well,
only has
Are you siding with
Oh,
Mel Gibson on this?
As far as being
on
a
this one. But however, I think Nick did deserve one for adaptation. Just saying, because
He did.
He
That
played
movie,
twins.
That movie is phenomenal. Didn't Chris Cooper win something for that?
Yeah,
He
Chris
won
Cooper
that
won. Yeah.
Chris Cooper won Nick Cage.
That movie is phenomenal.
I would say if we would go back to that question that Mel Gibson as a preacher is not that far fetched because him in real life is a very Catholic man.
Yeah, she has
Nicolas Cage,
He went there.
you just can't really visualize that as well.
Mhm.
I mean, okay, so he wore the priest outfit, but he was also a drug dealer at the same time. So, like, he's a
He
corrupt
pulled
man.
it off.
He plays a lot of corrupt roles.
Yeah, Nick Cage has something devilish about him.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's something.
There's something hell-bent about it.
Yeah.
He's got the cage
We
rage.
talked about it earlier. He married Elvis's daughter because he was obsessed with Elvis.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage does that. So let's get to the meat and bones. about this.
He's genuinely a pretty weird dude. Like
Yeah, but
Couple
so,
of
so
movies-
who has a better filmography? I already know, but I want to hear what else.
But we talked about the Mad Max movies.
You already
Does
know.
does
I do
Mel
know.
You already have an
does
opinion.
Mel Gibson have what's Nicolas Cage's Mad Max? What is his franchise?
The Rock. Well, okay,
Yep.
franchise. Okay.
The
He
Rock.
doesn't have.
Unfortunately, I think it's
Ghost
National
Rider.
Treasure.
Okay,
Oh,
I
that's
love
what treasure.
Brad Pitt movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is his franchise.
They're not terrible. I've
The
seen
Rock.
them all.
You know, he did.
He's
he
in
did-
South
he
Dakota in
did-
the second one.
He did Con Air, Face Off, and The Rock within 1 year. That's his
That's
franchise
a perfect
right there.
year if you ask me.
My favorite Nicolas Cage movie is Bringing Out the Dead. Actually,
Oh, great, Martin Scorsese. Oh,
yes,
well done.
that he's perfect for that role. Like he's so high strung, and he gets cast in that a lot.
This
even-
is
That's
before
him,
it was
don't you think?
worn.
So that's him. I think
no,
that's
yeah,
how he really
I
is.
would say. I mean,
But it's
it is-
before it was
like
well
that.
worn, you know.
Yeah. Or like him in like Matchstick Men. He's like a
Matchstick Men
guy
is
with
phenomenal.
OCD.
Mhm.
Snake Eyes even he kind of has like.
He's naming every
He's
movie on my
very
list that I wrote
high-strung.
down, by the way.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I didn't write Snake Eyes.
I like Snake
Nicolas
Eyes.
Cage
Snake
has
Eyes
some
is dope
phenomenal
sick.
movies.
I love that movie.
Brian De Palma, thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say another shout out to Palma, one of the 20ths that we have done on the show. So. But Brian De Palma.
But yeah, I will say after watching so many Nicolas Cage movies, Bring Out the Dead. I mean, Raising Arizona is way up there as well. But
It's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, definitely. Phenomenal. That movie's phenomenal. I think
Except the weather.
you brought up Matchstick Men and you just said Weatherman. I think those two movies are really. Like, I don't think Nicolas Cage is acting in those movies. Like, I think that's how he really is.
Actually,
I love both of those movies.
could be.
But
I think for like the crazy, like this is what I think a Nick Cage movie is, like in heart, like and heart and pun, but like everything wrapped around is Nick Cage is David Lynch's Wild at Heart.
Oh.
He plays an Elvis-like character who goes on, he kills somebody, and then he gets out of jail.
In self-defense.
Yeah. And he takes this girl, and they go around the country, and it's just this weird Americana,
Won the Palme d'Or at Cannes the year.
which is insane, because I don't know how that movie won. It's good, though. It's
I
just,
love Wild at Heart.
it's actually probably the most extreme of David Lynch's movies. In violence, and like,
Yeah,
and
Twin
the
Peaks Fire
absurdity.
Walkman is up there too, I'd say.
But, yeah. But Nicolas Cage is, like, perfect for that. There's one of my favorite scenes of all time is he's in a concert hall, and they're, like, dancing this hardcore punk music, and he's doing, like, karate chops and kicks in the air, and Laura Dern is just shaking her big hair around, and then he punches somebody, and then he starts singing this Elvis song, and then there's just these weird screams of like audience members, but it's like all like looped, going behind him. And I mean, it's very David Lynch, but it's one of my absolute favorite scenes of all time. Because Nick Cage is so great in that scene, like it's so perfect.
Yeah,
Leaving Las Vegas, he received his Oscar in that.
That's a great movie.
But very depressing. Like even watching Nick Cage and like I can usually get some comedy out of him just because of the way that he is as an actor.
Yeah, that's just sad.
It is super sad. Just watching an alcoholic just drown himself in darkness and addiction. Yeah.
I think it was Roger Ebert was like, Nick Cage makes bad movies, but he's never bad in a movie. I mean, he goes all out every time he makes a movie, no matter what it is.
It's all out. I don't know if it's always good, but
Yeah.
But no, it's a fair statement. Sorry,
I just should have taken that shot. Somebody mentioned Con Air earlier, and I love that movie.
Didn't you mention it?
Nicolas Cage is the worst part of that movie.
His accent goes in and out.
No, yeah, they were like, Nick,
Yeah,
can
but
you be
you got-
Forrest Gump? Can you be Forrest Gump and be a really bad prisoner, really security threat? I just feel that's all I hear when I hear him in that movie is him trying to be Forrest Gump. I feel just personal.
To me,
Taking that movie
go
too
ahead.
serious.
Oh no,
Maybe.
But I think my difference, like I said, like Nick Cage always has like this kind of like devilish hellbent, kind of like a dirtier. Seems like just like a rougher side. Like it's more intense, and then like Mel Gibson seems a little more pristine, a little more polished. But there is like that brutal ugliness too. Like I mean, Braveheart, is great of a film that is. It's super brutal, and all his movies that he's directed are really, they're great in their own way, but they're really extreme and like, I don't know.
Wait, about directing or acting?
Are you opening the Passion of the Christ door? Is that what you're
No,
doing?
I'm saying Apocalypto too.
Yeah. But
I mean-
but again, are we talking about directing or acting? Because Nicholas Spartan has never directed a movie before.
He directed this movie called Sunny before.
Yeah, that's true. With James Franco, we just
Yeah.
talked about him.
But I never saw that. But
It's okay.
no, but I don't know. It just seems like Mel Gibson never plays like it's intense, but it's never like extreme wacky role in a way. I don't know.
Except for Riggs, the Lethal Weapon franchise.
So,
Which I still haven't seen, guys. Except for
what
3
are
and
our
4.
favorite Mel Gibson roles? Since we gushed over Nicolas Cage for so long.
The Lethal Weapon movies, for me personally,
So
I
he's
grew up
got a
watching
couple
those.
franchises. The
Mad Max movies.
I
Those
love
are-
Thurwood Warriors so much.
Yeah.
And Thunderdome was just as good in my opinion. Another one,
Two-man.
very underseen is The Year of Living Dangerously, an Australian movie he did with
Peter Weir.
Peter Weir. Very,
I
very
never
good
seen
in
that.
that. Very good in that. Payback is really good too.
Yeah, Payback and Ransom are good. I also wrote down Bird on the Wire. It's kind of a him and Goldie Hawn, I believe.
Yeah, it's an 80s
It's a
movie.
good
but
movie you could watch with your mom.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nicolas Cage has a movie like that, but
Trapped in Paradise with Dana Carvey.
it could happen.
Oh
It
my
could happen
God,
to
that
you.
movie's so terrible.
That movie is terrible. I watched.
So
I watched literally 12 minutes. Of
I
that
think the
movie and
consensus is Nicolas Cage is amazing and Mel Gibson just shows up.
Yeah.
For me, for my money, Nicolas Cage is like one of the top 5 greatest actors ever. I love Nicolas Cage.
I won't say ever.
For me, I don't.
Greatest actors.
Oh man, I love Nicolas Cage. He brings it every time. Every time.
Well, he's
Have
one
you
of.
seen Jodie Foster's The Beaver yet?
I have not, actually.
Yeah, I think Nicolas Cage like brings a lot of himself like to the movie, which is like I mean a lot of actors will just try and go with what the director or the writer is trying to make their character into, but I mean you can tell that Nicolas Cage has a little bit of his own craft.
He's unpredictable.
But like he's in so many movies, so like directors will pick him up and they'll try to do something. And a little bit of trivia actually too. Nick Cage has a lot of back taxes because a few different reasons, but I know one of them is that he owns a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull, and he's still paying that off. So he's in so many movies.
A castle in Germany too, I think he owns. So he has to pay taxes on that.
So, I mean, just an interesting life making an interesting actor there.
Yeah.
So go home and watch a Nick Cage movie tonight,
It's-
please.
Support that guy, please.
I like Mel Gibson. I like.
But
Nick Cage,
I'm the second-
Well, who do you like better? Who would you rather watch?
Who would have not wanted to see the Mel Gibson, Sean Penn, Three Stooges movie? No.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Because that would have been a dream for me.
Are we
because-
talking about a movie that's never been made?
I know, but you little lightheaded.
Do you know how
from that.
terrible that movie was?
Loosely.
When
How
he was
hit
in it?
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage for me.
Yeah, are we cheering
With-
to
with
this?
that-
Nicolas Cage.
I think I'm gonna go Nicolas Cage too.
Yeah, there's no.
I'm going with
No, Luke's not going.
no, just because of raising Arizona and adaptation.
Yeah.
And Magic Man.
What about Bad
I never
Lieutenant? He was fantastic
Bad
in Bad
Lieutenant?
Lieutenant.
I know David Herzog.
I'll-
He was very good.
I'll take Harvey in the original on that one.
No, but they're
shows.
unrelated.
No,
But yeah,
Oh,
Werner Herzog does it for me there though.
Yeah, no,
He's
it's
an
coming.
amazing director.
I don't like lizards.
He has a lot of animals though. I mean, he represents a lot of different animals.
Yeah, that's true.
So they both had movies you can watch with your mom. Does
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage have anyone
Oh,
besides?
shit,
It could
And
happen.
the family man. The
Man.
family man.
Actually,
I have not seen that.
oh,
I
The
like
Weather.
it. It's a
The
great
Weatherman
Christmas
is a good movie.
I always think about that.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
not
thinking
what you
about
watch.
that tartar sauce scene where he doesn't get the tartar sauce and he's like, oh, they're out of it, and his wife's like, I'm calling them. He's like, no.
There's that
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Long
Yeah.
person in that.
That's
That's a
forgot
good movie.
tartar sauce.
Yeah.
Who directed that movie?
Family Man?
Gore
Gore Verbinski. Yeah.
He needs to
The
return
Weatherman.
to those kind of movies. He's really good.
Weatherman, Brett Ratner, I think, directed The Weatherman. No,
No,
The Family Man.
Yeah, he directed that.
Yeah.
We just.
We just talked about Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
But yes, I think our consensus is
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage because of Vampire's Kiss and Valley Girl.
Earth Girls are easy, is that him? No, that's Jeff
That's
Goldblum.
Jim Carrey.
And Jeff Goldblum.
And Dave Wayans and
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
other great stars. Anyway, have a good night.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
One more toast to Roger Ebert.
One more toast.
I got one more question since we're
Uh.
40 minutes in. If anybody wants to answer it.
Okay.
Most overrated movie you can think of.
American Beauty.
Wow.
Wow,
Okay.
That's bold.
We're gonna have to start a new show.
Can I
I'm convinced. It's the most-
can I trump that with Fear and Loathing?
No.
No. Okay.
And it. Too angry, not angry.
I even feel a little scared saying this, and I do like this movie.
Schindler's List.
No,
I thought that too, actually.
I do like this movie, but I feel like it just got overblown. Forrest Gump.
I will change my answer to Forrest Gump, actually.
Thank you.
I hate that movie so much.
And
like
I
those
can't
movies.
turn my interest in movies to cynicism. I just can't do it right now.
Gooby. Gooby is one of the most overrated movies I've ever
I don't know. Have
seen.
you seen the fart scene? Have you seen the fart scene?
Yes. Gooby. Don't rent Gooby.
Or do if you like Eugene Levy.
Let's talk about one more movie. I'm gonna end with talking about one more movie that I think, for some reason, I feel a little Forrest Gumpish when I watched it. Was The World's Fastest Indian, and we're approaching the longest talking movies ever. But has anybody seen that? The World's Fastest Indian? Anthony
No, I
Hopkins?
didn't like that.
It's a little Forrest Gump-ish, or Forrest Gumpy. Forrest Gumpy, we'll say.
Sentimental.
And it's one of those things where it's like, there's no way all this stuff happened to
It's a
this
true
guy.
story, though, isn't it?
Forrest
I don't
Gump
know.
isn't a real story.
Yeah, I know.
Forrest Gump isn't real.
What? Spoiler.
But he was Lyndon Johnson. He showed
You're
his
shattering
boobs.
people's worlds right now.
Even the ping pong? No.
Uh,
But yeah, The World's Fastest Indian, good movie.
I've wanted to watch it, I just haven't gotten around to it.
It's a really good movie.
okay.
But anyway,
Anyway,
I'm
have a
sticking
good-
with Gooby.
have a good night.
Good night.
this has been Talking Movies. If you want us to drink again and do this, respond.
Yes, questions,
Down there,
please.
down there
comments.
below. Yes, thank you. Have a good night.
Arrivederci.